We're here to listen to any comments that any other people, if you feel like you were kind of in the back pew during all of this, now's your time to speak up, and any of our family members would love to hear anything you have to say. And if you know how to use an electronic hand, you can do that. Otherwise, you just talk. You'll have to unmute yourself.
Don, I'm not real sure why this came to my mind now. Instead of during the time that I was Zooming with Karen, but I think the grandchildren might enjoy this memory I have. Karen and I were in elementary school. This was before Werner and Elvira bought the house on Crestway. It was back when they lived in the Cherrywood part of Austin. And Karen and I were playing dolls, and we decided to go in the backyard. They had a dog. I don't remember its name. I'm sure Ken would know. But this dog, it was a Cocker Spaniel, I believe. And so this shows Karen's creative spirit. We took a cardboard box and put holes through it so we could run rope through the box and around the dog and put the dolls in the box, and then had great delight in watching the dog run around the backyard with the dolls. So, like I said, I don't know why that popped into my mind today, but I also wanted to say what a beautiful service this has been.
It was. Thanks in great part to the readers, Mary.
I don't know.
I would like to add that all the many, many years that we were together and all the parties that we had at the ranch. I know there was one time Nancy and I and Karen were down swimming below the new dam, not the old dam, the new dam, which is really old now too, but that's neither here nor there. And Nancy and I were out of the water, and Karen was in the water and asking us to come and get in the water with her. And all of a sudden, water snakes jumped out. And I have never seen anybody move as fast as she did to get on shore with us. And of course, Nancy and I were sitting there and laughing at her, and she was not happy with us. We thought it was hysterical.
Good story, Anna.
She was a wonderful, wonderful friend. We loved her so much.
Okay, Carolyn Moore.
Carolyn Moore? Carol?
Well, actually, it's Mike Moore.
Mike, okay,
Oh,
Mike.
I'm using her computer because it's better.
Okay, I see her.
I too want to say what a beautiful service it was. Just congratulations to everybody that put it on for a beautiful woman that we will miss. It's a number of memories, but they all revolve around your home over Barker Reservoir and all the inners parties that were there, and the Trail Ridge Runners after trail runs that were there, and the Super Bowl parties that we had there. And the one attribute that's been brought up about Karen was how gracious she was. And she was certainly gracious to host all of those parties and folks and people. And Don, you did it too, but you know, Karen was the one doing all the work. She was cooking and making sure people had food and making sure people were comfortable and happy. And it was so many memories of our being together in so many different ways, but that graciousness that she always showed there was what stands up in my mind.
Thanks, Mike. And Caroline for letting him use your computer.
Of course.
Hey, Don. This is Bob Bird.
Bob, how are you?
I'm doing good. Thank you. I don't know if hello to all the Trail Ridge Runner Jeep people that are online right now. I'm calling in from South Georgia. As you know, moved here a couple of years ago. And Don, I think you probably know what this little story I'm going to be telling, because I actually met Karen and Don 1971, 72. Karen's roommate at Texas Tech, Patsy, was a girlfriend of mine. So no longer a girlfriend of mine, I actually married a very wonderful lady, Jana, which you guys, many of you know. And I just remember just fast forwarding, like, well, actually, when I met Karen and Don, I just remember Karen as being so funny and just gracious and just kind of fun loving. And it just really struck me there, and I'll never forget it. And what's really interesting, fast forwarding, 45 years, we were going to Elephant Hill, just south of Moab, and we were on our squawk boxes in the Jeeps, and I was talking, and Karen and Don were in their Jeep, and they were listening, and so when we got to the ranger station there, Don came up behind me and he said, "Would you happen to know the lady named Patsy?" I won't say her last name. And I just probably turned white, and I went, "Well, yes, how?" And he said, "Well, Karen recognized your voice on the squawk box." And I just went, "You've got to be kidding me." So that was just amazing. She certainly she really thinks of people and remembers people. And so I just wanted to share that with everyone, and we'll miss her.
Thanks, Bob. And there's a pretty good chance that Patsy may be online with us here. Do you need a rebuttal, Patsy?
Uh-oh.
Maybe she was having trouble getting logged on earlier.
Oh, okay.
I was trying to help her, but
That would be something.
good to see you, Bob. Say hi to Jana.
I will.
Anybody else?
Don,
Yes.
this is Ralph Ponfick.
How you doing, Ralph?
I'd like to just say that a few years ago when you guys joined First Lutheran, Karen came up to me and said, "I bring you greetings from Austin, Texas." And I said, "Do I know you?" And she said, "Yes, you sat on the lawns of Grandma Pfluger's house in Pflugerville 70 years ago with Ralph Knable, a lot of the old Knable people that I see on here. But I'm a Ponfic from the outlier side of the family, but I just wanted to say hello and how much we've enjoyed Don and Karen in Longmont.
Wait a minute. I want to talk to.
And my wife, Sally.
Sally.
So the day they joined the church, I made a special effort to get my Sunday school class upstairs so I could meet her. And they said, "Oh, she's not here. They went to Texas." But she and I got together and made this wonderful banner for the sanctuary. And I have gotten so many compliments on that. And we met down in my Sunday school room and we sewed, and we each brought a sewing machine and our stuff. And then pretty soon I had to go get some scissors like hers, and she had to go get a sewing table like mine. And we learned from each other, and the congregation has really enjoyed that banner. And it's green, so we get to see it a lot.
And I want to tell all of the folks present that Sally is probably one of the most frequent visitors at our house since January this year. And Sally, we really appreciated all those visits. I know Karen did. Anybody else?
Don,
Yes?
it's Nancy.
Nance, how are you?
Well, I'm fine. I just wanted to share, I know Ken mentioned that moms back then stayed in the hospital far longer than they do now. And I think it's a fun memory that I think my mom and I were in the hospital when Elvira and Karen were there, since I was born 8 days later. So our friendship started way back, and there's a lot of stories and a lot of different things and to share, but we have been doing Zoom with Karen, Anna and Mary and Karen and Lois and I. And in one of our last Zoom times, Karen talked about a fun time with the grandkids and how I am sorry if I have the name wrong. I don't know if it was Megan or if it was Nikki, but one had set up a cooking time and Karen did a cooking demonstration from home, and then the kids did it along with her. And she just shared with great memories and all the stories of all the grandkids that we got to enjoy with her. So we'll miss her. We'll miss her.
We'll have to Zoom again sometime, Nance.
Okay. Yes. And thank you for teaching me how to do it a long time ago. Thank you.
Anybody else? Karen?
Hi, Dawn.
Hi.
It's Karen. Little Karen. This is little Karen. She was big Karen. Wow. Just, I don't even know where to start. There's so many memories. But Mary, that dog was named Mimi, was a cocker. And I probably was afraid of that dog because I was afraid of animals. But anyway, and to Ken's memory about being a tomboy, I remember at that house on Wilshire Wood, wherever, we played cars in the with gin trash. Ken, do you remember that? There was this big pile of it, and we'd make tracks and all. So I guess I wasn't really a tomboy, but sometimes I guess it was kind of fun to play cars and trucks or whatever vehicle they had. But as far as memories, my goodness gracious, where do you start? You know, they started way back in school, continued through school, through weddings, and trips that we did that were way too few, but were fun. And Zoom, that, you know, I just know that y'all set that up for us, Dawn, that was a good time to have together. Thank you.
Wait a minute. This Bill, I remember that the Horn Hall shenanigans that went on. I don't know whether Patsy's still on or not, but I certainly remember Zelda May. Hope the grandkids and the daughters-in-law know about Zelda.
Dawn, does Dawn remember?
Well, unfortunately, I guess I'll have to tell them now.
Oh, no. Well, maybe
After we
they're
sign
older.
off, of course, yeah.
If one of the girls had a blind date, they would send Zelda May down, who was a mannequin, prior to the girl coming down to check the guy out. That was just one of the many things. And fun times we had at Tech, fun times we had in each other's weddings. It was an amazing time. And then to hook up again in the travel.
Bill, I know you're missing the chocolate fountain.
Oh, gosh.
Yes.
No, we need one. Hey, that's what your kids can do. Hey, kids, your grandpa needs a chocolate fountain. You can ask him about that.
We won't turn that down.
Yeah. She was a good friend.
Good, yeah. We're gonna miss her. It's just gonna be 3 of us now, it looks like, on trips.
Yep.
Well, that'd be fun too.
Anybody
And
else?
I think,
Yeah.
well, I want to say one more thing, because I see y'all's mask in the background. That's one of the last memories that I have. Well, I mean, I have a lot of memories, but of Karen, and I was still making masks this week. And I think I did that to remind me of her, but we had so many of those mask conversations. And I thought she is so lucky because there are no masks in heaven.
They are, and you know, a couple of weeks after she passed away, I found a stash of about 50 masks that have never been distributed, but it was, I mean, this was the best thing that ever happened to Karen was in March, because she started putting out masks and version 2.0 and 3.0, and everybody, well, Nolan's got one like that. I want one too. So
Oh yeah, we had too many conversations about those crazy masks.
And she loved it. She loved doing it.
Mhm.
All Karen creations that we're wearing today.
Yeah.
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 Yeah, I'm surprised she didn't make any weighted masks, but the peacemakers will know what I'm talking about.
I'll introduce you to see.
Anybody else?
Yeah,
Well,
Don?
Don, this is Pastor Garrett, and just to share a couple thoughts. One of the privileges of being a pastor in these situations is that you get invited into a family's life, really. And so I am just super grateful for that, to be a part of it. I so enjoyed knowing Karen even for the short period of time. She's just had a sparkle in her eye, and I know she'll be missed. I just didn't have the privilege of knowing her that long. But I also would just comment that these are strange times with Zoom, but you can tell right through the screen that one of the gifts always for a gathering like this is you get, you know, a little bit of a family reunion thrown in. And so I'm again privileged to be just kind of observing your beautiful family and so many generations gathered together for this time. And so I'm also, honestly, as a pastor, I'm super impressed at how this was put together to do. I think it was a beautiful gathering, beautiful sharing. All of the stories were amazing. And so thank you. And Don, as Pastor Mark said, we will definitely be loving and supporting you as the days ahead pass. So my greetings to you and the whole family.
Thank you, Pastor Garrett. And maybe
Don?
we'll see each other in
Hey,
church one day.
Don? Hey,
Yeah.
So,
Donnie.
yeah. Hey, so Penny and I like to say something that the Alaska branch of the family, okay? Penny, you want to start off there?
I just, from the from the very beginning, I just want to thank, you know, Karen's embrace of welcoming our daughter Megan to the family, but not only Megan, our whole family, and this includes you too, Dawn. You know, just that generous hospitality, fun-loving, energetic, up for anything. It extended to both Donnie and my families when we had people come to visit, and just such great memories of fun times. And just a remarkable person I admire so much.
Yeah, anything we had going on in our lives or family, you guys just embraced it and were a part of it. And I think you've had out-of-state coaches stay with you. There was lots of things that happened. A couple things that, in my mind, when we would play Cranium, we had quite fun games. And, you know, the teams got divided up by guys and gals. And the gals wanted it that way because they were so sure they were going to win. Remember that? I mean, is that not a correct statement?
I do remember that. I do remember.
Okay, good. So I just remember we had the games would take sometimes hours because we talked between the stuff that was supposed to happen. We were talking trash, I guess, for lack of a better word. And we just had so much fun, but of the people, and it was Penny and Megan and Penny's sisters, Vonda and Pat, if you remember, Asa, Mark, and that. But I would say Karen had the most class of anybody at the table, and the smartest. We all thought we were funny, and we all thought we were smart, and she was really the only one that was really like that. Okay. So, but we had such fond memories. And the other is, while you guys lived in Alaska, if you remember, we would get together always on the kids' anniversary and go to Simon's and eat. And that still, we just think of that and have such wonderful thoughts about just sitting down and enjoying talking about life, the kids, and that. It was just, we just have such wonderful memories of that. So, and just to wrap that up, the guys did always win. Okay. Penny's squeezing my leg. You can't see it right now, but she's squeezing my leg, hurting me. Okay.
And of course, at the end of every game, we played "We Are the Champions."
That's right. we had no class whatsoever.
Kristen's got her electronic hand up. This is coming from deep part of Texas. Kristen, go ahead.
Hi, I'm Kristen Knable Madison, and it's so good to see you, Don, and also Ken and Kay, and my aunts and uncles, and my dad, and my cousins. So I am, my cousins and my aunts and uncles are going to be mad at me for not knowing the right relationship, but first cousin once removed. My dad and Karen were first cousins.
Yes, they
so
were.
I think that's right. I think that's right, and somebody will correct me later on if I'm wrong. But I just want to say thank you so much for all that you and Karen have meant to our family. I enjoyed being a part of today, just hearing the memories that you shared. And Don, I don't know if you remember is it Seward, Alaska, when we were in the RV going up the hill and the telescope fell off and hit me on the head. I want you to know 35 years later that I don't think I have any brain damage. Hi, Brett. Hi, Mark. So, but thank you once again. Karen embodied all that all of you have shared with us, and what an important woman in our family.
And you know, you forgot the question that I asked to check to see if we had hurt you. And I said, what is the square root of 81? And
I hope I said the right answer. I don't know if you know that, but I'm teaching high school math now. So I hope I said the right answer at the time. So
good to see you, Kristen. Melrose, you had your non-electronic hand up. You're muted, Melrose. I think I can unmute her.
Here we go. Here we go. I was going to say that somebody from the Flugger family had to get in here, and I was getting ready to, and Kristen beat me to it. I just wanted to say that, yes, Karen is my first cousin. I have lots of memories of her. Everybody has said exactly what I think of her, of my relationship with her. And I know my brothers have been watching today. And Ralph Ponfick just talked, and he's my Knable side. I have Flugger and Knable for my family heritage, and he's my Knable side. And my brother Ralph was watching, I'm sure, the service, and Ralph Ponfick and Ralph Knable really are the same age, and they're cousins. And the service was wonderful. Thank you so much.
Appreciate you coming. I see Grace and Os, and Grace, I've got to tell you one thing. Karen passed away at 10:45 in the morning, one morning. And later that day, I went out to the mailbox, and there your letter was. And the things you said in it were so awesome. It had such meaning to me. And every time you go into the Paramount closet at Amazing Grace, you see Karen. So we really appreciate those comments. I wish you could have been here with us.
She was a special friend to me. Yeah. And I enjoyed the collaboration that we had through the years so much, and missed her so much when you took her off to Colorado. Yeah. And I just, what a wonderful woman and friend. And
you know, she was just not a quilter. You should see the mean duct tape stoles that both of them could make. And so they were in the upstairs quilt room making duct tape stoles, and then everybody wanted a duct tape stole because it was beautiful, and they had all these designs on them, and you know, and it was very Alaskan. So she was very creative. She and Grace had great times.
One of the things I want to tell you, the day before Karen passed away, Becky Schumacher said, Don, I want to Zoom with Karen. You know, I've got to Zoom with Karen. I said, well, you know, she's not very responsive. And Becky said, yes, she'll be able to hear. So I set them up on a one-to-one Zoom, and I put the laptop on Karen's chest, and Becky sat and said everything she's been wanting to say for Karen for years. And I sat in the corner of the room and cried like an 8-year-old girl. It was amazing to see. It was amazing to see. And thank you, Becky, if you're out there. Anybody else?
Oh. I'll do this.
Go ahead.
So talking about paraments, Karen was the joy of any and every pastor that she was a part of the congregation. And so my story with Karen a lot was, of course, Don and Karen were churchies. I mean, they had to go to every synod assembly that that was held, and so they were at every one of them. And so I would sit, sometimes next to Karen, or sometimes 3 or 4 down from Karen, and I wasn't always involved in thinking what was going on, and so I'm thinking about what kind of parament I'd like to design, what kind of ecclesiastical art. And I would scribble something on a piece of paper and I'd send it down to Karen, and she'd kind of roll her eyes and then kind of smirk, and she'd look down at me kind of like saying, why aren't you paying attention to what's going on here? And then we'd play back and forth, and trips to her house and that kind of stuff, and we'd come up with something that would just bless the worship time. So she was just the joy of any pastor that she was a part of that church. Yep.
Anybody else? This has been fun. I'm doing this because my daughter-in-law made me do this little after thing, and I told her this is foolish to do this, and I'm having to eat crow right now. So,
tastes pretty good.
Hey, Don.
Yeah.
Oh, go ahead.
This is Bob Schoen. Hi, Don.
Hi, Bob. How are you?
Okay. I just thought I'd relate some of the time that as kids, the Schoen family, the Pfluger family, and the Wadane family kind of grew up together. So Ken and I were the same age. Karen and Nancy were the same age, and we spent a lot of time out at the Pfluger Lake Place. So that's where we all learned to ski together, and had terrific times out there. And Karen was always such a delight to be around, and it was just a wonderful time. And it was just fun. I was just thinking about that.
Good to see you guys. Good to see you, Mary. Anybody else?
Bill and Stephanie.
Bill Benchler.
Hi, how you guys? Boy, I'll tell you, growing up with Brett and Mark in Alaska, and all the time that our family spent together, the memories are countless, of course. But it's funny how just little things every day serve as reminders of someone. I was looking at a flow chart when I was at work the other day, and it popped into my head the first time I was exposed to a flow chart were the flow charts that Karen had made for your cabin there in Crooked Lake, where we used to spend so much time. And they were flow charts that told you whether or not you were supposed to flush the toilet based on whether the generator was on or not. And I'll tell you, stuff like that about a person just kind of echoes, all the time. And, all that time we all spent together, it's hard to believe it's so far in the past, and there's times that I wish we could visit that. But Karen was an amazing person, and you guys take care of yourself and hang in there, okay?
We'll do that, Bill. Thank you.
Thanks, Bill.
Hey, Don. Hey, Don, can you hear
Yes.
me? This is Pastor Al. Yeah, I've been having a hard time getting it off mute, I guess. I'm so happy that Alaska got in here. Hosts and Grace and Becky, and has Larry spoken? I don't know, but I know he was on. Hey, you guys, I just want to share with all you Texans and Coloradoans that this couple, we're in the ground floor of the beginning of what is now probably the strongest Lutheran church in Anchorage, Amazing Grace. This couple, they helped build that place to what it is today. That cotton picking Don, I remember him coming down off the roof in November. We were putting the roof on our building. It was cold. The bishop was there warming himself around the bonfire. We were having hot dogs, and Lamprecht came down off that roof and he said, "Now I know why I'm an engineer." He was frozen to the bone. Karen, wow, she put together an educational program for all of our little kids, and they had 2 little ones of their own. And now it's so fun today to see them grown and to have them a part of this wonderful service. Thank you, Don, for including me. I love you guys. I'll never forget you. So God bless you and God help you through these difficult times.
And I assume you recognize that one of the first hymns I chose to have played.
Yeah, absolutely. Loved it. My favorite hymn, Beautiful Savior. And it probably was a recording from the St. Olaf Choir. Is that right?
It was. It was. I want to take one more. I want to take Betty Knable. We've got to meet a fellow out at the Risby Church. We're going to intern Karen's ashes today in the columbarium out there, and I don't want to have him hold up and wait for us too long. So Betty, you're the last one to speak. Talk to me. Betty, are you around?
Okay.
Yeah.
Now?
Yes.
I just want to tell you what a beautiful family you have. The girls are so pretty, the boys are so smart, and your sons are so good looking, but I'm sure that came from the Knable side. That's what George said. No, I'm just kidding. Well, you have to hear from Waxhaw, North Carolina. I just loved that time you and Karen came and we had lunch in Waxhaw with you and her and my 2 sisters. We had so much fun. I always loved Karen. She was always smiling. She just made you happy. Y'all are wonderful people.
It's my turn. She was my favorite cousin. Did you hear that?
All of it, George.
He probably does.
No, I don't. I really don't. We're going to miss her. And this was a beautiful service. Everybody that participated deserves a medal.
It was wonderful.
It was.
Well, I'm gonna have to sign off now, and I'm sorry not everybody had a chance to talk, but maybe we can arrange Zooms all on our own.
It would be nice.
Yeah, Nikki wants to say something.
I just wanted to share a story that I shared with Karen. When you find out that someone is going into hospice, it's an opportunity to tell them the important things that you maybe want to share with them before it's too late. And one of my favorite memories of Karen was after Avery was born. Don and Karen had made plans to come be with us, and it worked out really well because I had been in labor for 34 hours by the time she was born. And so for the next while after that, I was kind of out of commission, and Karen had planned to make, it was a couple of weeks you guys stayed with us, and she did all the cooking the whole time, and it really freed me up to recover and have time with the baby. And the thing I wanted to share with her was how meaningful that was to me and how special it was to me to have them come take care of us like that. And the other thing I shared with her, and this was when she was still somewhat responsive, but not fully responsive. And I was telling her this story, and I said, and one of the most amazing things about that time was that you had planned ahead to have Don do all the dishes. And I had never seen him do so many dishes. And even in her state where she was mostly unresponsive, she chuckled and perked up when she heard that. And so it was a fun memory for all of us. Maybe even Avery remembers it in some way. I don't know.
Helena, I think Helena wants to say something. We haven't had her chance. Go ahead, Helena.
Yes. I'm Helena, one of her other nieces, and I feel like Mia really summed up how impactful Karen is on our life. She was more than just an aunt. But I was recently moving, and I came across a old Halloween card that Karen had sent me, and it just goes to show how thoughtful she is that she sent her nieces Halloween cards. But on it, there was a pun or like a riddle, and she always, with the grandkids and me too a little bit, always liked riddles. So I'll share that with you now. How do you fix a broken pumpkin? A pumpkin patch.
Oh, nice. Good. That's good.
So that riddle is in honor of Karen.
Well, thank you for sharing that. We're going to sign off now, and it was wonderful to do this. And thanks everybody for all your kind comments. Especially, it was fun to see you Alaskans again. And Karen is in a much better place now, and she's happy. And we're having to deal getting along without her, but every day gets a little bit better for me. So thank all of you for coming. Take care, people.
Bye. Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye, everyone.